ladies and gentlemen, Reptile Hobby. I'm Galen Tom, and you're watching the Python Pit. It's been a while since my last video. I didn't have much time over the summer with my daughter being on vacation and a couple of side projects I was doing. And then at the start of the semester, not that I'm a college student, but I actually work for a college with the college rush in IT. So let's start with just a general update, and I'm also going to start doing a different type of segment. It's going to be, I'm not sure what the title, the working title is the Python Pit Rants, where I just go on a rant a little bit on certain subjects, but also my daughter might also have a little snippet of something that she would like to talk about as well. So let's do an update on the snakes and see how everything's doing. So first off, as you can see, I definitely reduced my collection. I went through a kind of a reduction in snakes that I really wanted to keep. I was planning on breeding some snakes, but in the end I thought that it would be best that I just don't have enough time, so I thought it would be best that the snakes that weren't really meant to be pets but more so of breeding or impulse buys go to good homes. And these are all my guilty pleasure pets, however you want to call it. So let's start off with Sugar, who is right here. Danger. This snake requires a lot of attention, which she does. She has never struck me. She is such a sweetheart. She loves to literally sleep on me. She is a white leucistic Russo, or a white diamond as they say. Hey girl, how you doing? She is such a sweetheart. If there's one thing that I could say that I would like to change, and it's not a requirement, is that when she needs to go, she goes. So it doesn't matter if she's on the sofa, over the carpet, or whatever. And she does tend to stray away from utilizing things I put in, like a bucket. She will fight that. But she has never struck. She's always been such a great girl, and I've been very, very blessed to have her as my, I believe, second snake ever. When I got back into the snake breeding thing. Not ever in my whole time, but definitely when I got back into getting into snakes, which I had a hiatus for a while to pursue photography. Next is Passion. Just to let you know that I'm sorry if you hear a lot of squawking. That's my bird Phoenix. He's in the next room. Craves attention. I had him out for a good 3 hours and he still hasn't had enough, as you'd hear. Now Passion is a purple Passion. Oh, come on, girl. I'm just going to leave it here. She could be a little bit of a striker. She has a little attitude. But once I get her out, she is very, very good. She's, like I said, a purple Passion. Got her from Amir from XYZ Reptiles. She's doing very well. She is the third one in my collection that I got after getting back into reptiles after that hiatus. And so here she is. She's probably by far the biggest ball python I have, and is still growing. She has a couple strikes. She will open her mouth and show her teeth, almost like a dog growling, but she's all bark and no bite. Her bites are really defensive, and she doesn't really land any of them. This is the snake that I got into first purchase when I got back into the snake portion of the hobby. After my photography thing, I decided to go out. And this is Medusa. She is a children's python. She's another sweetheart. She was a striker. This is the one, if you remember the story, the background story, that escaped from the pet store she was at, Pet Club, and fell behind. She was in a terrarium that's inside a reptile display cage. She got out of both and fell behind a glue panel. And unfortunately, she was stuck there for several days and maybe even been a week. So what ended up happening, they had a hell of a time getting her out. And she was really striker when I first got her. Even though she's not a ball python, I still did the ball python trick that when they get in defense mode, you just cup them. And she is now such a very, very sweet girl. It's kind of odd, when I first got her and I started getting other snakes, she could smell the scent of other snakes. So I babied another snake, like say Passion first, she would smell and give me this stare like, how dare you. She is a character. She even gives massages. Not constricts your neck, but she will give a massage. The only downfall with her is she loves to climb my glasses, as a lot of snakes may like to do that out there. So she is one of them. So she definitely jacks up my glasses, and it's almost impossible to take her off and my glasses once she gets there. Next guy here is Shadow. He is a GHI Mojave. Got him from, I believe, Garrett DeMar. Really great breeder. Definitely recommend him. And I'll do a feature on what breeders I do. He finally shed. You know what's cool about him? He has a really good tonality when he shed. Right now, this is the one that has kind of like the skull design on his neck. But when he was really about to shed, his yellow striping was red. It was a real trip. It was almost like he was a totally different morph, just going through his shedding period. But he did, so he's going to be really hungry come Wednesday and be ready to eat. Hey bud, how you doing? He's not a striker. He's more of a, just leave me alone. He likes to go under things more so. He did do a defensive strike only once since I had him because I scared him. He was in the back of my iMac, and I looked behind to see what he's doing. He was, doing his own thing, and I just startled him. He is not a striker at all in being defensive or hunger bite type of stuff, a feeding response. But he's really cool. I'm really blessed to have this guy. Sith. Okay, with that name, I was gonna name him Vader. I'm not sure. This is a Super Cinnamon. You couldn't tell the cinnamon part by how dark he is. And there he is. Did you shed too, buddy? Because I know you're in shed mode. I don't see your skin. But he's a pretty good guy. This is the guy you remember when I unboxed him and put him in. My wife was so scared. She freaked out, and then I did a snippet of how you could control that just by cupping him. Don't be afraid. He has gotten quite large. After that whole biting phase and showing who's boss, he's pretty much grown out of it. He's really cool to be around. I got the scare thinking that he had RI one time, and I quarantined him, and it turned out he just had a shedding, and so his bottom neck area is bulging like RI. Now I did have one snake that had severe RI that was a rescue, but there was other symptoms to make it more evident. There was the crusty mucus at the heat pits, as well as ticking, as well as mucus. Every symptom they said that snake had. He just had the bulging in the bottom. There was no ticking or anything. So it turned out that time it was just a shed issue. And I also had him checked out with the doctor to double check. And he said, yeah, sometimes snake will have the bulge in their bottom, especially when they're getting bothered by the skin about to come off. So this is Sith. Final snake is not actually mine. This is actually my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter. His name is Zumbi. Don't ask where. I forgot how they got that name. He is a pinstripe banana. He likes to hide under his dish no matter where it is. Now this snake, I swear to God, I have never seen a snake or handled a snake quite like this. He is the most chill snake I ever owned, and even had experience of touching, petting, or interacting with. Quite frankly, that's why this is my daughter's snake. You could bring him out. She could put him in her castle, her doll houses, inspect his dots that he's getting, because he is a banana and he is totally chill. This snake, I never had a snake do this to me before. One day I had him, and my daughter and wife were in Mexico for a while, visiting grandpa and grandma out there, or down there, and this snake was in shed. And I thought this thing was going to bite me. It was going towards my finger. It went to my fingernail and used it as a way to start his shed. And it was almost like looking at me like, are you going to help me or what? So oh my God. I never seen a tamer snake than that. I never had a snake use my fingernail, let alone any body part of mine, to help start his shed. But when he does shed, he does expect us to help him. He does stay still. Doesn't mind his head being pet either. You can see that. And my hand is shaky. I'm not, as nearly as steady as I used to be. But this guy is such a chilled out snake. For a ball python, never seen that. I'm pretty sure they're out there. I never experienced it. And, now I have. And, rightfully so, it's my daughter's. So I could take a snake bite. She probably couldn't. And that it will probably give her a fear of snakes after that, which I told her it's not a matter of when, as if, reverse that. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. Everybody gets bit at one point or another. And it's nothing worse than a thorn bush, at least for ball pythons in my experience. That's nothing worse than falling on a thorn bush lightly, So yeah, so this is Zumbi. Okay, like I said, I'm going to do a new segment, and this is the first one that I ever did. It's more like a rant, addressing online trolls. I'll let the rant talk speak for itself. Basically, I'm gonna do these things when anybody has some issues with me or with other people out there, or I just see something that's not right, or answering a question that I just want to get out there. And if you ever follow Brian Cusco, he does Cusco Uncut. It's similar to that, but I'm gonna try not to cuss in it. It's not going to be based off emotion, but based off, addressing something out there that's either not right or needs addressing, whether positive or negative. And unfortunately, this one's addressing a negative situation. So here it is, Ball Python Rants. Most say I shouldn't engage these degenerate, bratty trolls, ass clowns, and keyboard warriors. They speak of that they do not know. Snake husbandry, reptile basics, diagnosing and treating snake issues, shopping at Walmart or Petco, aquarium basics, much more. See, on the net you have this false sense of security. You believe that anything you say, you could say without any consequences. But in reality, you're the new veins of society. So the problem is people speak from their emotions, not actual facts or experience or even research in the matter. They speak of that they do not know. So in the end, it turns from a discussion into a big shaming, emotional debate, downright hostility, and all the other stuff you could imagine. See, I've been in this aquarium and reptile hobby since 1980. I received my first aquarium when I was 5, my first reptile when I was 12. The hobby has gone through many changes. During that time, my experience and knowledge grew and adapted to these changes, even before there were standards. When I'm attacked as a bad person, told that I have no business in keeping fish or reptiles, and especially when these attacks involve my wife and kid, you just cross the line. So in conclusion, before you open your mouth or post a comment, think before you speak. Criticism, feedback, and questions are constructive, but attacking a person is just very destructive. Okay, so that is the update, and like I said, not much going on in the reptile thing with me except reducing some stuff. I'm focused on aquariums. I will be doing another video featuring, probably in the next 2 videos, going to be featuring my aquarium. So it doesn't relate to the Python pit theme, but I figured, heck, a lot of the guys out there, a lot of you guys and gals out there probably have aquariums as well as reptiles and stuff. So I just like to share that. The next video is going to be some of the cool aquariums you could visit in Sacramento, mostly in South Sacramento. And then also an update of where I'm at with the 75-gallon. And then by then, the next episode should definitely be about the Sacramento Reptile Show, because by that time it should be about a month or so. So, I don't get these things knocked out as much as I should. So, so thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Or if you watch my rant, you could definitely unsubscribe or just totally ignore me altogether, which is cool as well. So until the next time, thank you for watching.